Okay, this is going to be the easiest way to install a water pump on a 2016 Ford F-150. So this water pump, the weep hole right here, came out, the bearing started going bad. You can turn it, but it's pretty hard to turn, and when the pulley's on here, you can actually feel the play and the movement in the bearing right here. So I knew it was time to replace it. Plus, it was, the weep hole was out, so it was spraying fluid everywhere. But anyways, this is the water pump. There is 4 main bolts right here that hold it to the engine. There's 3 here for the pulley. I thought at first this was a bolt. It's kind of hard to see down there, but you don't take the center one out. That's just what it rests on. There's 1 here, and then there's going to be 2 here for the thermostat, and this one is for the overflow. So the sizes that you're going to need is an 8mm. You only need 3 sizes to pretty much do everything. A 10mm, and that's pretty much the 2 that you need for the water pump. Now you're going to need a 5/8, and what the 5/8 is for, let's see if we can. So right here, right there, is a bolt that I don't know if that's what it's used for, but it's what I used it for. You can put your ratchet on it, and that's a tensioner pulley for the belt. I'm not sure if all 5.0s have 2 separate belts, but this one does. And it has 2 separate tensioners because it has 2 belts. So it's got 1 here, and I originally thought that the tensioner, I'm sorry that the lighting is not the best. Right there, you can kind of see the tensioner down there. I thought that was originally it, but don't waste your time with that one. It does nothing for the process. So anyways, you're going to take this off, take your belt off, and you can just take it off of the water pump pulley. You can see right here at my fingers, and you can see the 3 bolts here. 1, 2, 3. You might want to break that loose before you take the belt off. That way you're not fighting with it. If you do end up taking it off, take some locking pliers, and you can grab onto the pulley. Make sure to not tear anything up or tear the ribs up on the pulley. And you can hold it in place and then take your bolts out. And you come up here. This is where it gets real tricky. Let me jump up here real quick. The thermostat and whatever this is. This is not sure. There's lots of extra lines and stuff on this, but anyways, you're going to want to take this out, and there's an 8mm bolt right behind this hose. Can't see it, but it's there. So, and that's attached to the water pump. So what I did, instead of taking the throttle body off and all this extra stuff, is I undid this hose here. And then there's 2 bolts. You can kind of see one right there at the tip of my finger. And then there is one right there at the tip of my finger as well. And then you can pull this out and that hose back. You take these 2 bolts here off of the thermostat. You can pull that off of the water pump. Then you can reach the 8mm bolt for this, and you're going to just pull it straight up. And then you can take your 4 bolts for the water pump off. And then the water pump pretty much just comes straight out. It'll be behind all of this plastic stuff. You'll pull all of this plastic stuff back, and you can zip tie it or whatever to hold it back and out of your way. And then you'll pull the water pump off, put your new one in. On the back of the water pump here, it actually is recessed and sits inside of the engine block. So you want to be careful that this O-ring seats in there correctly. So you want to tighten it in a star pattern, as in this one, this one, this one, or an X pattern, I guess you could say. Really make sure that you get this seated in there well. Another thing that I did was use this pull tight strap, instead of fighting with this tensioner more than necessary, right here, I put my ratchet and my socket on there, and then I took one of the hooks and put it on the end of my ratchet like this. I hooked the other end right here, ran it down along in front of the motor. There's so much stuff in the way you can't really see, but anyways, down to the tensioner, and I was able to pull it tight and hold the slack while I was working for this tensioner here to keep the belt loose and keep it out of my way without having to, you know, strain us unnecessarily, because it's not a great position to work in. So as far as the tensioner and such, it's actually easier to go underneath of the truck. There's actually quite a bit of room here to reach right up and get to everything. You can actually see the water pump up there. You can take those bolts off as well from down here, and that's for the pulley. You can reach some of the bolts that reach into the actual water pump. But when you go to disconnecting the thermostat and some of the hoses, you want to be sure that you're on the top here, because lots and lots of coolant is going to pour out of this thing. So before you start, make sure that you have at least 1 gallon of 50/50 antifreeze, because you're going to lose a lot, and you don't want to be down there with it, you know, pouring on your body, your chest, your face, and your eyes, your mouth, all that good stuff. So you'll finish taking it out up here, and then when you put it back together, you can do whatever works best for you. Hope this helps. Good luck, and have fun.